Representative Powers Hannley.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker Pro Tem. I rise to explain my vote.
Please proceed.
Thank you. I wanted to clarify that a vote of yes on this substitute amendment to adjourn is actually a vote on the Equal Rights Amendment. It's a vote to try to shut down debate. As Governor Ducey noted in his State of the State address this year, Arizona has a progressive legacy when it comes to women's equality. In 1912, Arizona gave women the right to vote, 8 years before the 19th Amendment to the U.S. Constitution gave the rest of the women in the United States the right to the vote and the right to hold public office. In 1932, Arizona's sole delegate to the U.S. House of Representatives was Congresswoman Isabella Greenway. In 1973, State Senator Sandra Day O'Connor became the first woman to serve as majority leader of any state legislature, and in 1981, she became first woman to be appointed to the U.S. Supreme Court. In the 1990s, Arizona elected Governor Jane Hull and 4 other women to run our state government. In 2017, Arizona earned the honor of being the state with the highest percentage of women legislators. Women comprise 40% of the Arizona legislature. Today, Arizona has the opportunity to make history again by voting to ratify for the Equal Rights Amendment. The ERA was originally proposed in 1923. Almost 50 years later, in 1972, the ERA passed both houses of Congress and was sent to the states for ratification. The ratification deadline expired in 1982. The ERA fell 3 states short of the 38 states it needed to become an amendment to the U.S. Constitution. Arizona is one of the 15 states that never ratified the ERA, and despite the efforts in the 1970s by State Senator Sandra Day O'Connor. Although the Lilly Ledbetter Fair Pay Act was signed into law by President Obama, it has no teeth without the Equal Rights Amendment. Nearly 100 years later, after the ERA was initially proposed, women at all income levels in the United States make an average of 77 cents on the dollar compared to men, and women of color make even less due to the intersectionality of race, class, and gender. For those of you who think that American women have equality and that the ERA is unnecessary, let me quote former Supreme Court Justice Antonin Scalia, quote, "Certainly, the Constitution does not require discrimination on the basis of sex. The only issue is whether or not it prohibits it. It does not." The Equal Rights Amendment is a simple, one-sentence statement, but it could have a powerful impact on the women of Arizona and on the state's economy. The ERA reads, quote, "Equality of rights under the law shall not be denied or abridged by the United States or by any state on account of sex," end quote. Hundreds of women came to the Capitol this year to meet with you to urge ratification of the Equal Rights Amendment. Protesters showed up on the lawn, people came to the gallery, and people showed up at your committee hearings. Arizona women want equal pay for equal work. Arizona women want equal protection under the U.S. Constitution. Arizona women want passage of the Equal Rights Amendment. Today is Equal Pay Day. It's fitting that we join together today to tell the women of Arizona that we value them and we value their work. Let's make history and become the next state to ratify the Equal Rights Amendment. Nevada ratified the ERA in March 2017. The Illinois legislature will be debating and voting on the ERA this week. The ERA needs only 2 more states. Arizona and Illinois could pass the ERA out of the states this week with a yes vote. Let's make history. There is no time limit on equality. Every amendment that was ratified by the states became a part of the U.S. Constitution regardless of any deadlines. Now is the time for the Equal Rights Amendment. And with that, I vote no on the motion to adjourn.